Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.
So this is the first one.
Okay. Can I move this
Yes.
monitor a little bit?
Just a bit. Yeah.
Okay. The first image is your logo.
Yes.
I have to describe it for the listener.
Okay.
Okay, so it says Inner Compass, Zen of Mind, Body, Wellness. And the logo itself it looks like, for example, like a brushed circle with these upward sort of brush strokes at the cardinal points, so north, south, east, and west. Within the sort of circle is what looks like it could be a lotus flower. And there's in shades of brown. So the whole color palette here is all, I mean, the text is in black, but the logo itself has browns and tan. So within the main, let's say the stamen of the flower is a person, like a figure, not so much that. It looks quite feminine with the arms kind of held above. And above that are 3 ellipses of decreasing size, kind of rising up. And how old is this logo?
So this logo is about 5 years old, 5 to 6 years old.
Okay. And Inner Compass. Take it away.
Okay. Well, I want to tell you a little bit more. So you see the circle, which is the infinity, the circle, which is the yin and the yang. Then you see that he's holding up the hands up and looks like a flame.
Yes.
Right? And then you have these Zen pebbles. Right? So, and then you have the lotus.
Yeah.
So, you know, what comes out of the lotus, the murky ponds, is a beautiful, beautiful lotus.
Yep.
Right? So that depicts very much how our lives are, isn't it? Through struggles where we reach higher and we surface from so many difficulties, and overcoming those difficulties is why I thought this was a beautiful logo, and I went in for it.
So how was it? What was the history of this particular graphic, and what is Inner Compass?
Okay, so Inner Compass Psychotherapy. We provide, or I provide, and my team provide a psychological therapy for PTSD, for trauma, for OCD, for grief, loss, anxiety, depression, and chronic illnesses.
Oh, wow.
And we offer both Western and Eastern evidence-based psychological therapies, and to offer a more holistic, scientific, as well as the spiritual management of emotional difficulties.
Okay.
Not religious, but
Right.
spiritual, and I'll come to that shortly. So there are many levels and layers of inputs, ranging from evidence-based psychological therapy such as EMDR, CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy, DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy, psychodynamics, which looks at the realm of the conscious and unconscious material, transaction analysis, and then, of course, the Eastern psychological therapy is rooted in mindfulness, meditation, breath work through pranayama.
Right.
And we also have a certified therapist who's trained in trauma-sensitive yoga therapy.
Okay.
And a nutritional coach.
Right. I find it, okay, I fancy myself the mayor of Saikong, you know, figuring that I know everybody in Saikong. I don't think I've met you before. I don't think I've seen you before. How does it happen? Like, how can you live here and me not even know? It's amazing.
Well, you know, that's a very...
Sorry, I can be loud sometimes.
No, that's absolutely on point, because I think I've spent most of my time in therapy room, working with my clients and my patients. And I'm also in the process of doing the last leg of my doctorate.
Oh, okay.
And that's a 5-year journey.
Ah, yes.
And I paint a lot.
Okay.
And in my free time, I go hiking, I paint. Yes, I need to go out there and meet people.
Yeah.
But I think the last 5 years has been dedicated to a lot of inner growth work, as well as, the doctorate.
Okay, so do you have a title for your doctorate?
For
the thesis, or for basically the final work?
I'm actually choosing between 2.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to put you on the spot to tell, but okay, so what is the, let's talk shop. Like what university are you working through?
So it's California Southern University.
Okay.
And it's long distance, it's online.
Yep.
And
How
I've
it's been
enjoyed
for
it.
all the universities the past 2 years,
It
right?
has
Realistically.
been, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what is the section of the library or the specialization?
Trauma as well.
Trauma? Okay.
Yes. So
Oh.
I'm possibly looking at maternal separation anxiety during the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
And the other thing that actually also intrigues me and interested me a lot is the issue with the pets, the culling of the hamsters and its impact on pet parents.
Right.
So between the two, I'm kind of debating, all depending on how much information I get. And as I do the survey, depending on how much information I'm able to gather, and then I will decide then which one I'm going for.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't know. I didn't realize. This is great. Okay, so in terms of the practice, the clinic, that work, is it linked to? Is it like? How long has this been going? How old is this practice, and have you been with it?
Okay, I've been in clinical practice for 22 years.
Wow.
And I specialized in trauma in the last, I would say, 12 years.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so big picture.
Okay.
So I don't know if you were born in Hong Kong or how long your family has been connected to Hong Kong.
So I was raised in Hong Kong.
Okay.
And I did my school and my high school here. And then I moved to Singapore and India. And after 2 decades, I returned back to Hong Kong. So I came back in 2016.
Oh.
So I've been practicing both in Singapore and India.
As a
psychotherapist?
No, okay, but as a practicing psychotherapist, India, Singapore, Hong Kong, these are 3, let's call them populations that are quite different. What is the common thread? Is there a common thread?
Regardless of where we are geographically, yes, pain is a common thread. The human condition is universal. The human experience and the human aspirations, they come in different manifestations, but underlying all of it, we all want the same thing, which is love and acceptance and fulfillment.
So going back to the image, just to pull it back to the logo, which is how you wanted to start. Would you like to say something else before moving on to the next image, or do you feel that was a good enough introduction to who you are? Oh,
okay. Well, since it was about who I am is basically my passion, which is my work, which is helping people who are, especially those who have been traumatized by, it could be grief, loss of a child, it could be a very tragic experience they underwent, could be an accident, memories etched in your childhood, or even currently in relationships.
Yeah.
Not many people specialize in trauma.
Right.
But that's where I wanted to go because I myself underwent a fair bit of trauma when my daughter had a brain tumor.
Oh, wow.
And that was my journey, beginning of my journey into looking at, what really does help, what makes that difference.
Sure.
So yes, that's basically what I do.
Okay. Shall we move on to the next image?
So is life really a gift? Really? Can you make every second count? That's the whole point of the podcast. So if you like what you've seen and you're inspired, because that really is my mission, then please give it a like, subscribe, and share.
Shooting it raw?
Yes. Shooting it raw.